The Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, who today has conferred on himself the talker of today's event. He said he speaks in the House of Assembly because he has the authority and the mandate of the 26 members of the House of Assembly. You know, the question I have for the Speaker is, how did him and those other 26 get there? Is it by the mandate of those 26 or by our mandate? So you're only speaking there because we gave you mandate to speak. So you'll be speaking everywhere you go. The head of Ogun State Civil Service, the first medical doctor to be head of service in the history of Ogun State. Let me congratulate you on your first celebration of the Public Service Day celebration. The former Chief of Staff to the Governor of Ogun State. You should be sitting down there. The roles of the former. Are you back? You can downgrade very soon. To what did the senator work the members of the Ogun State Executive Council that are here, commissioners and special advisors, former SSGs and heads of service that are here. Let me recognize our past heads of services that are here, particularly Chief Babatunde Oshokoya, who spoke on behalf of his colleagues, Sovio Ugun, Elder Shola Adiyemi. When I came in, I saw town planner Amakwe Choko. I said, Mrs. Choko, I said, no, sorry, town planner. Because she always corrects me when I say, Mrs. Choko, she said, no, town planner. Town planner Amakwe Choko. And of course, our immediate past head of service, Elijah Samot Otun. Our guest speaker, who quite frankly, has impressed me this afternoon. I'm sure that I'm not the only one that was impressed by his delivery and the quality of today's lecture. I hope all of us were just as impacted by it. I have graciously requested permanent secretary so they can share with every public servant. I'm hoping that by so doing, this will further resonate with all those that are here and those that are represented here. And I will later on talk about some of the things that he shared with us. So Mr. Alex Taiwo, former general manager of OGBC and former in so many capacities, we're very thankful for today's lecture and for making our time to come to share with us your thoughts. All chairmen of boards and parastatals and commissions, members of the body of permanent secretaries, general managers that are here present, members of the organized labor, directors of various ministries and parastatals, greatest Ogun State workers, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, members of the Ogun State the award-winning cultural group. I want to thank you for entertaining us. Let me first tell you that I am extremely delighted to be in your midst today to celebrate with our dear public servants the Ogun State year 2022 Public Service Day. A day that has been set aside to celebrate and appreciate our wonderful public servants who are keeping the engine of government running and helping us in the delivery of dividends of democracy to our dear people. Let me tell you how important this is to me. Today is also a meeting of the National Economic Council in Abuja. And that meeting was scheduled for 11 a.m. this morning. I got notice of that meeting, I think Monday afternoon. And I told my team, I said, you know what, I'm not going to attend that next today. I will not. Let the deputy governor go and attend on my behalf. Let me stay here in Abeokuta and celebrate with our public servants. This is to underscore the importance that we attach to your contributions, not just as engine rooms to administration, but the building a future together agenda. Administration from the onset has continued to recognize the importance and strategic role of our public servants in the successful implementation of our various development programs and projects. That is why we have continued to invest so much in the welfare of our workers, including the payment of salaries, provision of housing, facilities, capacity development, training and retraining, and upward review of other emoluments, to name a few. These we have done and continue to do in spite of the various parallel states of the economy and dwindling resources. You know, when the former head of service, Chief Oshokoya, said in Yoruba, I thought of people were sort of not, I was expecting an applause, but people were just sort of murmuring, you know, they were murmuring. We are, Kini, I mean, you know, Chief Oshokoya, I thank you very much for appreciating me. Even if nobody else appreciates me, I am grateful. And by the way, you know, when a former head of service appreciates you, you know, it is very inspiring. You know, may all of you become heads of services. You one day you also become foreman. You know, as human beings, you know, we are naturally unsatiable, no matter where we were, no matter how much we are given and it's added on to our lives. It just, you know, requires a bit of time. It expires and then we begin to desire more. It's natural, so I don't blame us for always wanting more. But, you know, we must just learn to, you know, count our blessings and think of how far we've come and gone. You know, we on this side, we do not see ourselves as different from you, because what I see is a tendency for civil servants to see themselves as them and us as us. We don't see it like that. We see ourselves as one and the same. And as such, you know, we take the issues of your welfare as issues of our welfare. Because if not for you, and I hope you are listening to me, you know I'm not campaigning, you know. I'm not delivering a lecture, I'm talking to us. If not for you, I won't be here. You know, I won't be here. And it's not lost on me. It's not lost on me. Yes. So to begin to imagine that as governor, I think of you as you and we as us is completely not correct. So wherever it is that we are still falling short, rest assured that it is work in progress. And I will get to that. That we're able to fulfill most of our obligations to our workers and also discharge our responsibilities, the rest of society, is due largely to a sustained increase in our internally generated revenue and our prudent management of available resources. Today, we're on course to meet and even surpass our 100 billion annual IGR target. 100 billion. You all remember what our IGR was when we assumed office and what we did last year. Last year we proudly were knocking on between 90 and 100 billion in year 2021. That's almost double what this state has ever achieved. And this is not a paper revenue, not a number crunch, not juggling numbers, but in actual money. And that you can see by way of the projects that we're implementing across the length and breadth of the state and across all the sectors. In this, we can recognize the contributions of our public servants in the realization of this target, even as we urge you to put more efforts at work and also avoid any form of wastage or squandering of resources at your disposal. Meaning, let us continue to be more efficient and let us continue to plug all loopholes. Let me observe that the choice of the theme of today's 2022 Public Service Day, which is entrenching good governance in a changing world, the place of the public service could not have been more apt. The State Public Service has a legacy of excellence inherited from our forebears. As an administration, we are proud to have the public service as the engine room of government, and we will do all that is necessary to keep our public service up there among the best, not just only in Nigeria, but elsewhere in the world. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is for these and other reasons that we are resolutely committed to continued prompt payment of monthly salaries of workers, as well as pension of the retirees in the state, which Shifo Shokoya proudly acknowledged. It is easy to say that governor continues to say this all the time. We've had this over and over again. But this was an agreement, a solemn agreement I made to the Almighty God when I assumed office, that I will ensure that I pay your salaries as and when due. If you recall, my first day in office was 30th of May. And as of 30th of May, you had not been paid salaries. And there were no plans for your salaries to be paid because there were no funds to meet your salary payments. Because I had made that pledge to the Almighty God, I ensured that day, my first assignment in the office was to ensure that your salaries were paid. And I have paid your salaries ever since, on the month. And I'm saying that, capital, bold, and underline, because I'm probably one of the 2 southwestern states that are not owing salaries. Because, and my team will tell you that, I tell them, whatever it takes, whatever it is, whatever is happening, these people's salaries must be paid. You notice that last month, you must have observed that some people got paid on a particular day, others hadn't got the usual alert. I know we've all become spoiled. We start looking for that alert, even if it's Saturday or Sunday. And you are wondering what is going on. But I'm sure eventually everybody was paid. What is going on is that because of the continuous subsidy that the government has continued to make for premium motor spirit, which is called petrol, NNPC is not able to contribute to the federation account any longer. As a matter of fact, NNPC is now making demands from federation to pay NNPC. So consequently, our FAC payments have substantially reduced. And normally we take our FAC payments, we pay your salaries, we pay pensions. For the first time, we didn't have enough funds, nowhere enough funds to pay your salaries. We had to begin to scrounge and scrape from IGL to ensure that your salaries are paid. So please continue to bear with us, knowing pretty well, again, like I said when I started, there is no you and us, but we are all in this together. You notice that every quarter, I promised that we'll begin to offset the arrears of gratuities that we inherited. And I promised that we'll continue to pay about $500 million every quarter. You know, this gets more and more challenging. I recall when we were discussing the issue of the minimum wage, which of course was imposed on us by the federal government without any consultation with any subnational. Ogun State was one of the first states to begin the implementation of the minimum wage. Not only did we begin that implementation, we have continued to sustain the payment of minimum wage, when others have since reversed it. We will not renege on our promises on the payment of arrears, of deductions, and bonuses, even within these limited resources. We cannot and we will not toy with the career of our brilliant and vibrant public servants. I believe with more sacrifice and more cooperation and understanding, we will surmount all these challenges confronting us in respect of the economic situation. As an administration, in our efforts to ensure that Ogun State continues to be a reference point in the Committee of Civil Service in Nigeria, we will continue to provide the necessary ambience for the development of the entire workforce in our employ. As part of the fulfillment of our promises, funds are being released from time to time to facilitate training and retraining of workers to further enhance productivity and improve service delivery in our ministries, departments, agencies, as a trained mind is a sound worker, as we have heard from Mr. Taiwo. My fellow Ogun State workers, to further underpin our commitment to the provision of qualitative healthcare services for Ogun State workers, we are working assiduously on the implementation of policies and programs to enhance the health welfare package for our workers. This will enable them to access the health insurance scheme at affordable means. We have allocated an ultra-modern office for the health insurance agency and enjoin our workers to manage their health very well by keeping fit and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. We should endeavor to check our health status and exercise regularly. Let me assure our workers that administration will strive to ensure regular and timely promotion of deserving officers. As you are well aware, promotions of the year 2018, 19 and 20 of our workers have been approved and letters conveyed to all beneficiaries accordingly. Efforts are on for the conduct of the promotion exercise for years 2021 and 22. In addition, junior staff who had acquired additional higher academic qualifications are being elevated via upgrading exercises. Let me also seize this opportunity to state that we have put in place some additional welfare packages for our teaming public servants, such as increment in funds for motorcycle and car refurbishing loans for both junior and senior officers in the public service. The last 3 years, appointments have been made for permanent secretaries, and these have clearly been by merit, which was never the case before I came into office. Today, I make bold to say that I do not need to know you before you become a permanent secretary, which is what it should be. We appointed general managers, principal generals, headmaster generals, as and when due. Just about 2 weeks ago, another set of public servants on grade level 16 and 17 participated in the recently introduced Ogun State Executive Leadership Pipeline Development Program, through which the available vacancies are filled based on merit and performance on their job over the years. Administration holds its workforce in high esteem, and these informed by decision to purchase brand new official vehicles for 38 serving permanent secretaries to further motivate them and enable them to discharge their duties effectively with relative ease. Knowing the importance of good accommodation to us human beings, this administration has continued to construct quality and affordable housing estates at choice areas across the 3 senatorial districts, in which our workers are also primary beneficiaries. However, in spite of our best efforts, I am the first to admit that there is room for improvement in the welfare of our workers. Do I get a round of applause? Hey, pàtẹ́wọ́ fún mi. I am admitting. Yes. Thank you. Those areas will surely be adequately addressed as soon as our financial situation improves. I would like to reassure all our public servants that we will keep our promises to them, because we are a promise-keeping administration. As I often say, we do not and will not promise to do everything. But we will surely do everything we promise. On your part, I urge you to continue to put in your best in the service of our dear state as we strive to build the Ogun State of our collective dreams together. Let me also use this auspicious occasion to appreciate the continuous and harmonious working relationship that exists between our administration and the entire workforce of the state. I say a very big thank you to all the leadership and the entire labor unions, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, the Trade Union Congress, TUC, and all others for their understanding and maturity at all times. I have spoken to the head of service, and we're planning a meeting between us and the labor unions. That meeting was meant to be this week, but in view of so many things that came up, we'll definitely have that meeting sometime next week, so we can discuss all of the issues that are outstanding. My indefatigable workers of Ogun State, I felicitate you on this very special occasion as always, and I challenge you not to rest on your oars. You should continue to strive towards the best in your offices. As the politics and politicking of the next general election is top gear, I enjoin you to shun partisan politics. You should also not allow yourself to be tools in the hands of desperados. I urge you to abstain from acts that are capable of bringing clog into the wheels of peace and progress of this state, so that we all continue to enjoy the Ogun State that is peaceful, and I claim to be the most peaceful state in the country. Again, I want to thank Mr. Taiwo for that lecture. He spoke about performance management, performance evaluation, performance execution. He spoke about the need to engage, workers and staff, in this case, public servants, so that we can better appreciate them, they can appreciate each other, and we can get the benefit of also their feedback. And this is an essential ingredient in motivating them, so that there's no disconnect between the leaders and those that are being led. I believe that I captured that correctly. You also spoke about, you recommended that we read this book, which I actually have, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I recommend it for all our permanent secretaries, and I will ensure that I acquire one for each PS in each ministry. You spoke about the qualities of the modern civil servant, and that I thought was very profound. Qualities of the modern civil servant. The question I'd like to leave you with is, are you a modern civil servant? Are you a digitally civil servant? Or are you an analog civil servant? I don't know. Because if you look at all what Mr. Taiwo listed in that his lecture, if we conduct a test for all of those you here today and say yes or no, item 1, yes or no, item 2, yes or no, so I feel that we need to be conscious of the age and time that we belong. This is the age of cutting-edge technology. And we need to address our minds to this century and, migrate from the Stone Age and become modern age public servants. He says modern age public servants are that we are inclusive, we are participatory, we are accommodating, we engage each other in dialogue, we are not, we are not necessarily agitators. Of course, we all have demands that need to be met, but, in a very civilized way. Again, I'd like to remind you that we are one and the same, and we are not on this side while you're on that side. Once again, I'd like to congratulate the head of service, Dr. Nafi Aigoro, the entire workforce of Ogun State, on the commemoration of this year's Public Service Day. I'd like to commend all those who have come from far and near, and particularly all the organizers that have contributed to the successful hosting of this event. I wish you all successful and meaningful deliberations and celebrations, and I thank you all for listening to me. God bless you. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn.